Hey guys, Shadowz here, welcome back to another Gear 6 video. Today we're going to be discussing the Locust Berserkers surviving the Locust War and escaping from Kadar to return in Gear 6. The Locust Berserkers are one of the deadliest creatures in the Locust Horde, and despite being blind, inheriting the genetic trait from their birth mother, the Locust Matriarch, they are powerful, formidable foes, blessedly able to reproduce with their male Locust drone counterparts. Berserkers were known for their highly developed sense of hearing and smell, which compensated for their blindness. They had extremely durable bodies due to their bullet-resistant armor-like hardened skin, and were known amongst both the Cog Gears and the Locust Horde as these deadly monsters that were always in a near-constant state of extremely aggressive behavior, killing friendly Locust drones and humans within mere seconds. Due to their aggressive, hostile-like nature, the Locust Berserkers always had to be kept in either captivity by the Locust Horde or chained up and secured by several Locust drones, tactically leading the Berserkers into battle if their enraged striking power was required against the forces of humanity. Based on intel reports and collectibles found left behind on the battlefields, Colonel Victor Hoffman theorized that the Locusts would breed by the male drones, restraining the female Berserkers by chaining them down, while multiple drones force themselves into mating. With the Locust Berserkers being the sole females of the Locust Horde means they are placed a lot higher in the overall Locust Horde hierarchy and hold huge significant importance not only to the interests of the Locust Queen, but the Locust existence itself as a species. During the major events of the Locust War, it seemed as though the population of the Locust Berserkers were depleting, as war had also taken its toll on the Locust Horde. The activation of the light mass missile destroying the outer hollow thinned out their numbers even further, as well as also the sinking of Jacinto and the inner hollow had either killed most of the Berserkers off or forced survivors to fall to the lambent parasite, becoming infected by the emulsion and evolving into lambent Berserkers, such as the one that did attack Delta Squad at Anvil Gate. Despite the events of the Pendulum Wars, the Locust War, the Lambent Pandemic, to the activation of the Emulsion Countermeasure Machine, some Locust Berserkers did survive unaffected by the entirety of the Locust War, hidden away deep underground inside stasis tanks in a secret lab facility that had been undisturbed for many years, until only very recently. 42 years after the emergence of the Locust Horde on E-Day and the invasion of the Swarm, Kate Diaz, accompanied by Del Walker, went on a journey to learn about her connection to the Swarm enemy, where they discovered a secret cog facility buried underground inside Mount Kadar, as their arrival changed everything. Upon their visit to the Mount Kadar lab, the Niall Sampson AI explained the origins of the Locust Horde, Queen Mira, Reina Torres, and Kate's family heritage being a direct descendant of the Locust Queen, and how her fate, as well as also the fate of the Locust and the Swarm, are forever intertwined. As Niles leads Kate and Del on his personal tour guide entering the room of the Matriarch, the birth mother to the Locust Horde, more importantly, surrounding the Matriarch containment module is in fact hidden in plain sight from the typical gameplay cinematic cutscenes. A few dozen female Locust Berserkers kept safely inside stasis tanks, meaning that the first generation of the Locust Horde lives on, including original Locust Berserkers that have survived the Locust War still alive 25 years later. What's even more interesting is that after Kate terminated the emergency cryogenic lockdown activated by Niall Sampson, is that doing so not only reveals that the Matriarch was also freed from its chamber, but also that some of the Locust Berserkers that were inside their stasis tanks seem to have escaped as well. Seeing as how the original first generation of the Locust Horde in both the male Locust hybrid drones and the female Locust Berserkers did survive the entirety of the Locust War and have possibly escaped from the Mount Kadar facility, of course means that if these Locust survivors begin breeding to create even more new Locusts, that the global extinction threat to humanity rises even higher, as the humans of Sarah may have two battlefronts to fight on, being possibly both the uprising of the ever-growing Swarm threat, but also the resistance of Locust survivors, fitted with the experience of a century of war, and now the ability to breed and create new Locust reinforcements. Please make sure to leave me a comment down below telling me what you think. What is your guys' opinion on the Locust Berserkers surviving the war inside the Kadar lab, and what it means for Marcus, Kate, Delta Squad, and the rest of humanity if the Locust survivors are able to start breeding? So there you have it, guys, full details on the Locust Berserkers surviving the Locust War and escaping from the Kadar lab to return in Gear 6. Leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed it, subscribe if you only. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I shall see you in the next one.